Hi, Tamal. Welcome to the Business Standard Banking Show. Tomorrow is RBI's monetary policy, and in your report, in your column this week, you've said that you expect status quo on rate. Can you tell us broadly what are the reasons why you expect a status quo, given that inflation is actually still a concern?
So inflation, yes, globally also inflation is a threat. On top of that, we have seen what's happening in on the oil front. It's actually higher than what RBI estimate. RBI estimated 85. It's now 90. It's 10-month high. So on the inflation side, are we extremely well off? Certainly not. But as I said, RBI, I think, is confident that it will come down slowly, even though it is higher than Reserve Bank of India estimate. I mean, the target, which is 4% plus minus 2 percentage point. So keeping all that in mind and supporting growth and making the economy work in the right way, I would like to believe that Reserve Bank of India will keep the rate unchanged. And one more interesting fact is this: the core inflation, what you are talking about, it is pretty good. I mean, and it's been falling, and I think the last core inflation was 4.9, close to 5%. Of course, the oil will have an impact on retail, including core inflation, which is a non-oil, non-food inflation. But overall, I feel that the worst is behind us as far as inflation is concerned. RBI will not let its guard down. RBI will continuously be watching with a lot of caution. So it will be a hawkish policy probably, but on the rate front, I would like to believe it remains where it was since February. It was the last time the rate hike was in February. Between last May 2022 and February 2023, the rate had been hiked from 4% to 6.5%.
Now, on the stance, you have said, will it change the stance from withdrawal of accommodation? You've said no. There are some people who have said that there may be a change in stance. Why do you think that there will not be a change in stance?
No, I would like to believe the stance will remain the same, which is withdrawal of accommodation. Now, if you see last policy in August, it was a bit of a hawkish policy. It did not change the rate. It did not change the stance. In fact, it reconfirmed its stance by introducing an incremental CRR, which they call it ICRR. So 4.5% is the CRR, the money which the banks need to keep with Reserve Bank of India, on which they don't earn any interest. On top of that, for certain quantum between July and August, the money, which is incremental money, RBI imposed some 10% CRR. Now, which means taking money out of it. And then we have seen that what happened is, because of the advance tax outflow, etc., in September, the liquidity had been in deficit. I mean, one particular day it was pretty bad. It's 1.47 trillion deficit to the systemic liquidity. Now, despite that, I would like to believe that Reserve Bank of India will continue to have this policy of not allowing excess liquidity in the system, essentially the withdrawal of accommodation, which will continue, because you need to see that more money in the system is fuel for inflation. And we also need to think about the rupee. Rupee has crossed 83, per dollar. And in fact, if you have more money and inflation and rupee from every aspect, I don't think RBI can afford to let its guard down and allow excess liquidity in the system. So it will continue to be in the deficit. In that the same stance. And having said that, going forward, Reserve Bank, I will see the liquidity management will be a task for Reserve Bank of India, because festive season is coming. Then you see the elections. So typically during festive season and election, cash or so-called currency with people, currency in circulation goes up. You and me, we keep money for shopping, etc., etc. And then elections, and another story where the cash plays a critical role in certain parts.
Given all these factors, when do you expect a rate cut now?
Well, if you see 6 months back, or even I would say that in April, May, all these people are thinking of there's the first rate cut, the end of the cycle, and the coming of a news cycle sometime in December, then it got postponed to February. But having said that, now if you see the global situation, the way the inflation is behaving in different parts of the world, what is happening in the commodity markets, and what's happening in the oil price, and keeping in mind what's the rupee vis-a-vis dollar, all this put together, I would like to believe there would be no rate cut during the current financial year, which how many policies we have? We have in October, then we have in December, then we have in February, then we have in April. Probably not even in April. So I would like to believe that for quite some time now, at least till April policy, unless there's a dramatic change somewhere else, everywhere, we should not think of any rate cut. The RBI at the first stage will, keeping in the policy unchanged, will change its stance, and then we will see a rate cut. When that is happen, at the earliest in April, that's what I can say, but it can be even postponed beyond that.
Of course. You got us a preview into the policy. Of course, we'll find out what happens tomorrow. But as you said, the inflation, the worst is over, but RBI will keep a close watch. No rate cut this financial year. Thank you so much, Tamal, for sharing all your insights with us today. We'll see you next week.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.
I am the blue of the limitless sky. I am the inspiration that lets success soar high. I will achieve, I will fly high. I am the I in SBI.
I'm backed by the nation's trusted bank, SBI, the banker to every Indian.